What's going on out there, YouTube family? We are back. This is a spoiler-filled review for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 5, Truth. So, me and Lucas have not talked about this at all. I have no idea how he feels about this episode, so this is going to be my raw impressions of how he feels about it. You heard me talk about it a little bit earlier, a specific part of this episode. I went in detail with it. But yeah, let's go ahead and kind of break it down. This is a spoiler field review. If you haven't seen the episode yet, I'm sorry. Lucas, I'm gonna let you kind of take the realms on this one, take the reins. How did you feel about episode 5, and what were the key points that you want to talk about in this episode?
Here's the thing. Are they just overly trying hard to make black people care? Because that's what it feels like when I watch this episode. Like, you just had to, like, we're going to pull in this black audience no matter what. We're going to have him call Sam a coon. And for you all that don't know what coon means, that's what Isaiah technically calls any black man who would ever wear the mantle of Captain America. He kind of calls him a coon. So we start off with him calling him a coon. And we start off with them stealing the shield from the rightful Captain America. Stealing the shield from him.
Oh my God.
Like, they have a leg to stand on. Both of these ninjas have killed a multitude of people. He does it, and it's like, oh, but you did it on live TV, so it's different. No, ninja, it's not different. You was kicking people out of airplanes. Bucky shot how many people? And here it's like, oh, just give up the shield. And it's like, also, let's talk about the fight here.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just decide not to put any realism in this fight? He's a super soldier. Like, it makes no sense that either one of them should have been able to hang with him.
But Bucky's a super soldier, though.
Bucky is a super soldier. Know the difference between him and Bucky, though? Bucky was an assassin who clearly holds back. John is a soldier who does not hold back. Yeah, it should not have been remotely close.
So the way my impression was with this is that John progressively was getting more and more volatile the more they posed a lot more resistance. I don't think John initially was trying to kill them in the very beginning of it. I think that towards the end, the moment he ripped off Sam's wings was when I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's willing to kill them now. Because I think up until that point, he was just playing defense because it's 2 against 1. But I don't think that John was trying to really kill them. And nor do I think that Bucky was really trying to take it really serious. It wasn't until, he saw Sam almost get killed that the fight got interesting. But to be fair, they still had to, double team him and use technology against him to kind of bring him down. But I don't think in the very beginning of it that John was trying to kill them, because he kind of alluded this, like, I'm gonna say this. I think that John in his head was outside of himself. I think he's still wrestling with the fact that he hasn't accepted the fact that he didn't kill the person that killed his friend. He couldn't even admit that to himself, but he was kind of like, all right, well, it's time to move forward. Because even the comment he made was the same thing that Black Star normally told him, all right, it's time to get moving or whatever. But he still hadn't really dealt with the fact that his best friend died and he killed somebody for it because it wasn't even the right person. He had to justify that within his own head. And so for his head was like, what are you guys doing? We got a mission to do. And he hadn't accepted his part because he couldn't at that time mentally or emotionally. And I think that in his defense, he was kind of like, what are you guys fighting me for? I'm not giving away anything. Like, what are you talking about? I'm Captain. And I mean, he went off on him. And
where's the righteousness come from, though?
Wait, what righteousness? Who, from John?
No.
Wait, elaborate.
Of the other 2 ninjas.
So
where
I'm gonna
does
say
the righteousness come in for them 2?
I'm gonna say this. This is my comment on it. I don't think it was a good idea to ask John to give up the shield. I think would have made a better comment is to say, okay, John, we need to go and head back to base because this is a serious situation. I need you to stand down. We need to kind of stop where we're at because this has gotten out of hand. I think that would have been better verbiage, because it's been evident that neither one of them thought that he should keep the shield. So it kind of put a bias from that one specific comment that Sam made, even though Sam was making more of a effort to try to de-escalate it. He was the one that said, give up the shield. And so I think that the verbiage was the problem there. But it also leaves an impression that they were kind of like, yeah, they were like, we got to put this dude down.
It leaves an impression of say that we're better than you, so now we're going to take this from you. And through this whole series, then I will have to say, wait a minute, how many terrorists have you made friends with in this show? How many people have you killed in this show? What makes you better? Yeah. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing makes you better.
Yeah,
not a darn thing.
Yeah, but
not a darn thing makes you better.
So this is what I'm gonna say, and I think I'll rest at the hill with this. Can you not agree that he was not where he needed to be psychologically at this moment, at this time?
I wouldn't expect anyone to be when you just watch your best friend get killed.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like at the moment that he's compromised, he should stand down, right? Like he shouldn't be. He should stand down, right?
Stand down from what, though? From them? No,
not from them. I'm saying that's why I said the verbiage. If it was me, I would say, look, this has gotten out of hand at this point. We need to go back to base and regroup because now at this point, this has become a bigger international issue. We need to go and figure out what to do at this point. That's what I would have said, like legit. If I knew that my whatever was emotionally compromised due to the situation, then he wouldn't be able to effectively do his job either way. And so that's what I'm saying. Can we not agree
now
that he
wasn't? Also, I'll say this: he's trained to deal with that, though.
He's been forced to.
No. He's trained to deal with a situation where if someone is close to him, that he's supposed to keep on going. See, to me, it wasn't a situation where he became unhinged. He reverted back to his training. If you are a military trained person and those comrades are your brothers and they die beside you, you know what you don't do? Go back to headquarters. No, you pursue whatever you're pursuing even harder because that's the push through. But that's the training kicking in again for him.
Yeah, but I mean, I get that. And that goes back to one of the things, and I said this in my discussion earlier, is that one thing I can agree with you is that when he had the conversation, when he was put on trial, and discharged and, they ripped him from all these different kind of things. He said to them specifically, and it's true, you made me this. Like if this was any other situation, if I was a soldier, I wouldn't have been reprimanded to this. But because like I'm the poster boy and the symbol, so to speak, that's why I'm being reprimanded because it's taking something out of your pocket y'all using me for. But technically you've made me a soldier and this is what I've always done. And it's true. I mean, what he's saying is true. I can't fault him for that thought process. And that's what I was trying to say. I think
that's also what made that whole thing not make sense.
Well, no, I told you they were going to do that. I told you the government was going to bury him. I knew the government was going to bury him because they were going to.
See, no, they didn't try to bury him. See, it's different. When you say you're burying somebody, you attempt your best to even erase his existence. They didn't bury him. What they did was blame him. And that's worse. Much worse.
But that's what I meant. Well, my version was off. I thought that they were definitely going to throw him under the bus and say this was him going rogue and this was his fault. Because they've made him Captain America so quickly that I was like, that turnaround, I was like, they're going to, as soon as they made him Captain America, they're going to just easily turn against him. I kind of felt like that was going to happen eventually. But he got intercepted with the girl from Friends. And she's most likely going to recruit him.
The girl from Friends?
Isn't she from Friends or Seinfeld?
No, she's not from. You are
was it
so
Seinfeld?
Disrespectful.
Was it Seinfeld?
Seinfeld, Veep, everything. Like I
ain't never seen
Friends.
Veep. I ain't never seen Veep. All right, so
are you kidding me?
I ain't never seen Veep. It was Seinfeld though. I apologize, but she, her character was actually supposed to play a role in the Black Widow movie that was supposed to come out last year. and then she would get reintroduced into this show, from my understanding, from what they're talking about. But I think that she's gonna make him, I guess, the U.S. agent that we know from the comics, and he's still gonna be used by the government under the radar. That's probably why they did it the way they did it, without, it was just too coincidental.
This was just the only probably issue with Black Widow not coming out, because the introduction of this character would have already existed. The scene would have made way more sense for her walk, because it didn't make any sense when she just walks up to him like that. But if Black Widow would have came out first, and this character would have been introduced, and the background of this character, not comic book people that know everything, but regular people.
Yeah.
You even know some background of this character. So when she shows up here, it's a moment. Instead, it just comes across like okay. So who is she?
Why is her hair different hint, and why does she have blank cards?
Yeah. Like it brought up more questions, but again,
But this was the first time I will say that I felt bad for him in the way that the guy handled his trial. Like, I was kind of like, I think, he's in denial about the situation, and I think he's still grieving and not, compacting it correctly emotionally and mentally, but he's not wrong in the way that he's verbalizing this to them. Like, he has a lot more to support what he's doing, and they just kind of disregarded him. And I was kind of like, dang, I was jacked up. It was really jacked up. But anyway, as far as the fight, my final thoughts on the fight, I think that he almost killed them. Loki.
Yes, he'd have killed both of them.
He almost did, because Sam was about to be done, and if Bucky hadn't have took it more seriously, it would have been bad, because it took both of them to bring him down.
I say, even when Bucky took it serious, Bucky still was going to die.
I don't think so. I really don't think.
Did he not stand over Bucky and was about to slam that shield into his throat when Sam broke it up? See, because he did that to Sam first, and then he did it to Bucky, the same thing. It's a different ball game from someone who, the way they pitch him is, his hand-to-hand combat is ridiculous and damn near unstoppable. And then I give you a super serum. What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, it's true. I mean, he's not somebody to mess with. The thing that I had an issue with was that they keep playing with this idea that Steve is gone, but Steve's not gone.
Oh, trust me, I had questions about Steve isn't here anymore. No, yes, he is, nigga. We seen him. We seen him.
Yeah,
he's still alive.
I mean, well, I take that back. Could it be that in the Black Widow, in between Black Widow and present day, that they imply that Steve is dead or something like that we just didn't know? Because I'm trying to understand it, because
that's even more reason they should have just released this goddamn movie, because that's too big of something. You can almost get away with Snow Allegra, because that's what I'm calling her, because her name's too long. The Snow Allegra thing of it all, because that's cool. It's confusing, and you're gonna try to clean it up some bit, but who cares? But you can't just say, by the way, in Black Widow, Captain America's dead. But Black Widow takes place between Civil War. Well, majority of Black Widow takes place between Civil War and Infinity Game.
I don't even know anymore, because
no, I read that. I read that. That's when it takes place.
That's weird. That's a weird gap. Anyway,
well, she's dead, so his thing. It can't take place after it. She's dead.
But well, I always felt like that Black Widow movie was to show who the new Black Widow is going to be, and that's going to be the present day, whatever that blonde chick name is.
But no, I'm saying she's dead, meaning that
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because Steve is. What point will we even get for them to bring up that Captain America is dead?
He went to her grave.
Oh, Jesus. Come on.
No, I'm just joking. But I really don't know. I agree with you. But my thing about this is that we all know that Steve Rogers is on that ship with Nick Fury working on Sword. We already know that.
I have so many questions now. Why would, at the end of Endgame, Steve Rogers look so frail and old as he was sitting on the bench to pass the shell off?
Yeah.
Him and Isaiah would be around the same age, wouldn't they?
They'd be exactly around the same age. And Isaiah is still the same strength that he was then. So, and again, to go to comic books, you guys, just to let you guys know, Steve Rogers, as an old man, later on in present day, did fight. Like, same as that thing happened, like he actually can do everything he normally could do, just a little bit slower, but he still has.
He should be able to. Like, okay, but like, supposedly Cap is dead, and let's get to Sam being a coon.
Oh, that's terrible. Look, you can't say that. He said any self-respecting
black. If you ever have a conversation and something you're about to do, and an older black man says any self-respecting black man wouldn't do it, and then you do it, you know what they think you are. That's why I said he called Sam that.
Yeah, I mean, so my thing with Isaiah is
he's 1,000% right. He's 1,000% right.
I understand exactly what he's saying, because if we go to the timeline, Steve went and took the shield from the government when he was already thrown to the side, went over enemy lines, went and saved his crew, and became the national treasure for all time, and then got woken back up to fight again. Your boy Isaiah literally did the same exact thing, and they put his tail in prison for 30 years and experimented on him for 30 years without anybody interaction. They told his wife that he was dead, bro. Like, I get it. Like, he's not wrong from that regard. My whole thing was that there's nothing wrong with Sam choosing, if he so chooses, not being forced, not coerced, not out of this, neglect. What I'm saying is that Sam doesn't need to be another Steve Rogers. And I think that at this point, he thought that he had to be, but he doesn't. Like, there is an Isaiah Bradley that did more and it could have done even better.
Then he can't be doing it for Isaiah Bradley, because Isaiah Bradley had told him no self-respecting black man would here's the deeper problem with it. No self-respecting black man would take up that mantle for this country.
Yeah, but
that put Disney in a hole, because they should not have allowed him to say that line. Because then you think about in today's in today's environment, as a black man, would you want to be the symbol of hope for this country? No.
Yeah,
you would not.
But that's what makes Sam's choice, to me, more important, because he's choosing to go outside of what he knows. I mean,
the right thing. Say it, Sam.
Like I'm not gonna say the right thing. I'm gonna say from what's been implied and what makes sense. He's choosing to go outside of that and do what he has to do because he feels that's what is his right thing to do. And I think that's what makes it so much more deeper.
Because a white man gave him a shield and told him, "You are the next Captain America." He then says, "I don't want to do this, white man. No, I can't do this." And then you go to another black person who was this same exact hero, who the world screwed over. He tells you, if you respect yourself, you wouldn't do that to yourself.
Yeah,
and then you decide still, I think I need to do it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Does it set it up for a downfall? Because if you're gonna tell the truth here, unless you want to set it completely in comic book reality,
which that's what they're doing.
If Sam messes up in any way, shape, form, or fashion as Captain America, what do you think happens?
I mean, at the end of the day,
does Sam not become Captain America and he just carries the shield? Nah. Look at your face when I said that.
I think that
Anthony Mackie said something very interesting before this show came out when he says, "I am not the new Captain America."
I remember that.
He didn't say nothing about Falcon not carrying that shield. He just said, "I am not the new Captain America."
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is where I'm gonna say that I was believing that up until a certain point, but he freaking left his wings with the dude that becomes the present day Falcon and left with the shield. Like he doesn't. I mean, my whole thing was, bro, you need those wings to fight, bro. Like I don't care how many flips you can do, you really need them wings. And so I'm praying
what is in that case that what I'm about to say? I just assumed Bucky got him new wings made. That's all I assumed.
What I thought was that, and from the comics, is that Falcon, when he becomes the new Captain America, he still has his wings. He's just no longer called the Falcon, but he has the stars and stripes, but he still has his wings and he holds the shield. So my thought was that's what the costume they're giving him. I pray he's got wings, because if he don't,
he gonna die. Just say it, he gonna die. Like, don't matter.
He's already said he's not taking the super soldier serum, so I'm saying.
But keep in mind, they've also slickly attempted to build up the chance of Bucky becoming Captain America.
They have.
In this episode,
even in the episode when he kind of it was the light shining on him, and he held the shield, and I was like, oh shoot, Lucas might be right. And then Bucky went and said it right in front of Sam's like, okay, bro, put up or shut up. It's your time. Do it or not. But I mean, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, because this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be a hard question, because I already had this conversation with Aaron. That's another discussion. How do you feel about Bucky's comment to Sam when they were doing their little training montage, when they were throwing the shield around, and basically Bucky was like, "Yo, I wanna apologize, because me and Steve didn't take into account, your situation or your stake in this."
Disney.
I kind of
trying to make black people care. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, Joe. I mean, that line was cringeworthy, Joe. We never understood. Nigga, you clearly did, because there was a black Captain America, and you knew they put him in jail. So you knew if you get his shield to this nigga, this is what could happen. Come on, man. You can't say that. Steve can't say that. He's a white man in America. At what point do you not understand attempting to make the black man the symbol of a country isn't a good idea? Come on, man. Come on, Disney. Disney. Come on.
My thoughts was that I think the line delivery was off. I think it should have been, if he was going to allude to that, it should have been in a completely different way. The line delivery was
no business even alluding to that. They have been so heavy-handed in this attempt to show they care about black people. It is ridiculous. Why though? Why go this heavy-handed with it? It ain't even necessary.
So I'm gonna pose a question to you. All right. When at the end of Endgame, and I asked this to a chat, and I don't know if anybody's gonna actually answer the question, because ain't nobody brave enough to answer the question, but I know you will. At the end of Endgame, when Cap gave Sam the shield and not Bucky, did you think that Sam was going to become the next Captain America?
No.
Why?
Because I didn't think it would be necessary to have one, and because in Marvel, no one ever really disappears. So I thought eventually they're just going to bring Steve back.
So when he gave him the shield, what did you think was going to happen? I guess in the interim, before Steve eventually came back, did you ever think that Sam was going to become?
No.
And okay, that's the honest answer. Okay,
yeah, cool. I didn't see, because for someone who is portrayed, or they have portrayed in MCU as someone who is very strong in his own identity, I did not see a reason that he would want to take on someone else's identity. Mm-hmm. Because if you take on the man or Captain America, guess what? It ain't you. You become another face in the costume.
Yeah.
And he tends to not, they didn't portray him as being the person that would be okay with that.
Uh-oh. You're frozen, Lucas, for some reason.
No, I'm not. Oh, I can see me.
Am I frozen?
No, I can see you move.
So freaking weird, bro. Like, I got you right here. You're not moving at all. It's so weird. But anyway, we'll keep talking. That's fine. So This is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
When they gave Sam the shield and they ended that, as opposed to giving it to Bucky, I knew then, and I told you from the beginning of this series, I felt like this was going to be.
But now, what happens if you're hedging your bets? And yes, he still has the shield, and this man does not come Captain America.
I mean,
what happens if they really, literally don't want another Captain America? What do you do if they don't want one?
I mean, I'll be fine. I'll personally be fine. But I think that at this point, this whole crux of this show has been playing with this idea that,
and they played with it
this whole time. Going to be one of them. We're going to be the next Captain America. I mean, it literally the whole crux of. Matter of fact, foundationally, this is really about Sam for the most part. Like all the different interactions, whether it's with Zemo, whether it's with the Atom Smashers, or I forgot what the hand smash. I forget what the girl's group's name is. With Bucky, with everybody, is that he's making a choice. Well, he's already made a choice, and he's trying to understand why he made the choice. But then at the same time, why did he make the choice? And I felt like this episode unpacked it both sides of that. Like him understanding the circumstance as a Black man, choosing whether or not he wanted to be somebody else's identity. And to me, this is where I feel about it. I felt like by the end of this episode, he realized he didn't need to. He felt like, I can't be another Steve Rogers, so I don't want this. And I feel like by the end of this episode, he realized he don't got to be another Steve Rogers. He could be him, but the same, but with the shield.
But that's the problem, though.
Captain America.
You can't be. That's impossible.
What?
You cannot be Captain America and not be Steve Rogers. You have to be as perfect as his perception is. But we literally said the same thing about John Walker. You have to portray that image. You have no choice. That's what Isaiah said made so much sense. You have to be him. No doubt about it. It would be equivalent of Bruce Wayne no longer being Batman, someone else being Batman, and they start shooting people. No. I mean,
that actually happened.
Yes, exactly. And that's the problem. Except for, and not the Dark Knight stuff, because that in that world, Bruce don't exist. I'm literally mean, like Bruce retires and someone else takes over and doesn't live up to that. But what makes it worse here is everyone knows who Captain America is now in this universe. Everyone knows who he is. Mm-hmm. And he's still alive. Screw you, Marvel. And he's still alive. You have to live up to that. You have no choice. And that's, to me, it reeks of color switching a hero. And this Ironheart, all that other stuff that Marvel does, and color switching heroes, and no. Is it just not good enough? And this is why I question, is he just going to have the shield? Is it just not good enough for him just to be Falcon? Because if you're saying he needs to be Captain America, and I'm talking about you people out there, if you're saying he needs to be Captain America, you're saying Falcon isn't enough. We need you to don a suit similar to Steve Rogers and take up his mantle, because you, as Falcon, aren't enough. And that's the serious question that people need to have that discussion with, because it's different between him and Bucky. The Winter Soldier is an assassin. If he takes on that mantle of Captain America, he's leaving. The Winter Soldier is not a good person. So he's becoming something different. Falcon is a hero already. And if he becomes Captain America, then you're telling me you, as the Black Falcon, as the kids say, was never good enough.
It's a hard one, because I don't know if that.
Take your comic book logic. Take all your comic book logic out of it, and then answer the question.
But I can't though. That's the thing.
Nope. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because it's a very simple thing to be.
But it happened though. It happened.
But that don't matter. Also, but in the comics, Bucky got the shield first. Mm-hmm. So you can't go by the comics here. So again, what does it make sense that I, as a hero, need to become another hero to be a symbol when I'm already a hero? So you're telling me I'm not enough. I'm not enough.
But
because America needs this white man behind this shield. So instead, you're gonna put a black face behind it and think you're gonna make a difference.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that in the comics, Falcon went from being Falcon, regardless of who had it first. Falcon went from being Falcon to being Captain America. He chose to do it. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to say is that regardless if it's a good decision,
can I ask even more of an important question? When did this happen with Falcon in the comic books? What year? I have in my head the year it happened.
Let me pull it up really quick.
Also, was Falcon always black in the comics?
Yes. Okay. Always. Matter of fact, Falcon was always basically roadie to Iron Man.
Okay. So I think I even more had my question when he became Captain America.
Comic. Because it was recent. Was it 2014?
I'm expecting
2014, I believe.
I'm expecting it to be in the 2000s that they color swapped Captain America.
Yeah, it's 2014 when he officially
became Captain America.
Yep.
How many black characters did Marvel have there that were big? So what you're telling me is they pulled off a gimmick to make a black man color swap a hero, and now they would do the same thing in the show of color swapping a hero. Great. So I'm guessing this happened around the same time that Ironheart happened, because that happened in like 2017.
Man, why you gotta do this, Lucas? Why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do this? Because you know that you know the truth of Lucas. You know Ironheart happened around the same time. You know.
So in other words, they needed to make black people feel better and make him Captain America. But at the same time, at them doing that, it never clicked to any black nerds out there that they basically erased a black hero and said, "You're not enough. We need to make him Captain America instead."
Yeah, but so this is my thing about it. All right. So if let's go and take this to DC side, right? When Bruce Wayne went missing, there was actually a comic book series. It's called Battle for the Cowl. Bruce Wayne was effectively declared dead. And during that time, like Dick Grayson knew that he probably should take up the mantle, but he didn't want to do it. And, things were just getting so bad, he ended up just doing it anyway. And then Bruce's son helped Dick Grayson. They were Batman and Robin for that period of time. But then Jason Todd was like, yeah, y'all ain't doing enough. And so Jason Todd was out there shooting, killing people with his own cowl and doing his own thing. And it was literally like a battle for the cowl situation. So this has happened before. But what I'm saying is that Nightwing didn't want to be Batman. But he did it anyway because somebody had to.
And how is that viewed when he became Batman? Because it ain't viewed good. It ain't viewed at all good. But when they made him become Batman, it ain't viewed good. It ain't. You can't stop it. It's not viewed good.
But what I'm saying is that he still made the choice to do it, so it's not outside reason that it's possible or plausible.
You know the biggest difference? The race part of it.
But what does that matter, though?
It matters a lot.
What
happened if T'Challa? Am I saying his name right?
Why you gonna sit there? You got. I know
what happened if he became Iron Man because the world needed Iron Man more than Black Panther? How would people feel?
All right, I'm gonna give you a better one. I'll give you a better one. What if Bucky
became Black Panther?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah. How would people feel about it? They'd be
exactly. Fucking exactly. See, people's issue have never been someone. From what I have witnessed, a lot of black nerds' issues is when you color swap one for the other. They hate that. Absolutely hate that. And worse yet, you're taking away an established hero. You're taking him away and saying you're not enough. Did no one think that would be an issue?
I mean, it's a hard go though, because if the character chooses to be the next
Sam, we're gonna stop saying if the character chooses. This nigga ain't the shoot. This ain't Cool World. They don't decide to do what they want to on their own. I'm literally asking the question: why the hell would this character ever have been Captain America? It makes no sense.
Wait, like realistically, just in this world, in this universe?
Why ever would he have ever taken up the mantle of Captain America? At any point in time. In the universe they set up, they make it even worse of a question why he would take that up.
So, I mean, the only reason why is he choose to...
I thought you was going to tell the truth. Go ahead. What's the reason why now?
The only reason why, well, realistically...
Oh, and you're frozen. Hey.
I'm frozen?
Now. Yep.
Are we both frozen?
Nope, just you.
That's so weird. Hold on 1 second. It might be my internet. Nope, it ain't my internet. I don't know what's going on. StreamYard's tripping right now. So for me is that the only reason why he even went with that notion is because Steve gave him the shield. That's the only reason why he would ever have attempted to try to do it. But then he said he didn't want to do it. But realistically, if Steve would have never gave him the shield, he never would have tried to be Captain America. He never would have even wanted to. So he never would have even tried to. It wouldn't even make any sense.
So the white man put pressure on him, and then he had no choice but to be Captain America. Got it.
So okay, so if it was Bucky, right? He gave the shield to Bucky during
that. Another white man. I don't care.
Okay, so say
and the messed up part is
say he gave the shield to
T'Challa. That would be a problem because you're saying he's not enough as Black Panther, as you're saying Falcon is not enough as Falcon.
But no.
Paints a picture of Falcon doing missions, saving people, and they like, yeah, you saving people by yourself. No, we don't need that little Falcon costume. We need to dress you up like Steve Rogers and then have you save people because that makes you more valuable to us.
But see, I looked at it like the reason why he would give it to him not to, well, I mean, he should have been more sensitive to it because even Bucky said that. But the real reason why I felt like he did it is he felt like Sam had a good heart and he would do the right thing by the shield, with the shield, and he'd be a good symbol that people could rally behind.
Oh, I thought it was because Sam was his sidekick.
Nah, I always thought that he just knew that Sam was a good man. Like,
but Sam is his sidekick, right?
He is. Okay. I mean, well, no, technically Bucky is.
No, Bucky is not. Not in the MCU, he's not. Let's cut that out. Bucky is not his sidekick in the MCU.
Not Sam anymore.
Is. Sam is his magical Negro. And he gave his magical Negro a shield.
I can't look at it black and white like that, Lucas. I gotta look at it from the perspective
because you're trying to put a comic in it, while the whole time Marvel has painted a picture in this show of you that you should look at it black and white. See, I'm only taking it this way because that's the picture they're painting with this show, and they're purposely doing it. But guess what? Are we gonna go back to the cop now who thought he was causing the problem, and when he becomes Captain America, that cop's like, God damn it, I was wrong. He's one of the good ones. Like, what comes out of this? What comes out of this is what I'm asking.
I think that what's going to end up coming out of it now, whether or not the portrayal and the actual execution of it is going to be well received, I can't speak to that. But I think what they're trying to achieve is that, by Sam picking up this mantle, if he is going to take up the mantle, that people are going to look at like anybody can be the shield. Anybody can carry the shield and hold the mantle. Much like Miles Morales.
Here's the other issue.
When it comes to the Spider-Verse. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Here's the other issue. The government doesn't have to recognize him as Captain America.
Huh? Say that again?
The government doesn't have to recognize him as Captain America.
No, they don't.
They don't at all. I don't think they're going to.
Why not?
Because they didn't pick him. Clearly, they care enough about picking the mantle of Captain America that They didn't pick him to be Captain America. And if he gives, in this last episode, a black speech about, I'm doing this for all the black kids so they can know what, if he gives a black speech and they give Isaiah to cry or give a fist pump, like what he's saying is right, fuck Disney. Fuck Disney if they give him a black speech at the end of this show. And everyone knows what a black speech is. They give him a black speech and Isaiah cries from his black speech, or he hit him with, all right, man, all right. Anything of that nature. They have played with black people completely. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I don't know because I ain't seen the last episode, but you might want to prepare yourself, Lucas.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, fuck Disney. I'm saying, if they do that, I don't want to hear anything from black people being mad because you allowed them to do this. You have allowed them to do this. Bet you all that Black Panther goodwill goes out the fucking window if they have him do a black speech and then Isaiah cry. Like, all that Black Panther goodwill goes right out the window.
So, but all right, I'm gonna ask you this question:
do they just need another black hero? Because they only had Black Panther. So do they just say we need another nigga in a costume that people respect? Because people don't respect Falcon. So make him Captain America before the Iron Heart show thing comes out, where it's now a black female Iron Man. Even though they just introduced a black female Captain America. So, I mean, Marvel loves color. They have went from color swapping to gender color swapping. I'm waiting for, isn't there a trans Captain America already? It's a trans hero. They gender swapped someone that way. I just can't remember who it was.
I don't know, but my question was going to be to this.
Mm-hmm.
With Peter Parker, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Spider-Verse movie, Peter Parker effectively died, right? And he consulted with Miles, told Miles, he gave him a task. He didn't tell Miles to be Spider-Man, but he gave him a task like, look, I need you to do this one last thing and be careful. And he died. And Miles felt responsible for it. And he felt like, he really wanted to honor the Spider-Man that left before. And by the end of it, he became Spider-Man. So I don't see this as any different.
Isn't anybody in a Spider-Man costume Spider-Man?
Huh?
Isn't anybody in a Spider-Man costume Spider-Man?
Wait, what you mean?
What's the difference between him? What's the difference between Miles? Because you're talking about the cartoon, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, the animated, Spider-Verse.
So when Peter Parker from another world dies and tells him to be great, how does that even work? That Peter Parker didn't even exist in his world. Because when the actual Spider-Man died, he didn't give Miles an assignment. He didn't even know who the kid was.
No. So in Miles's universe, his version of Peter Parker died. And when his version of Peter Parker died in his world, he went to the gravesite and he was trying to go and figure out how to be Spider-Man. He was jumping off and he was failing. And he went to the gravesite and was like, look,
but Peter Parker didn't give him his suit, right?
No, he didn't get his suit. Okay. Aunt May, the Peter Parker of that universe who died, Aunt May gave Miles that suit. It just happened to be that all the other Spider-Man flooded into that universe.
Oh, when did Aunt May give him the suit?
At the end of the movie. At the end of the when he went back, right? When he figured out his lightning powers.
After everything, she gave him a suit.
Yeah.
But Peter Parker didn't give him a suit as he was aging or dead and tell him you are Spider-Man.
No, he never told him that.
Okay.
He never told him that.
Okay. And you see that as being the same thing as this.
No, I'm talking about the character motivation to be that same symbol. It's the same thing.
It ain't. No. Miles wasn't a hero already. There was no hero. Miles wasn't a hero already. At all. At all was he a hero already. Not one bit so was he a hero. And they literally had him bitten by a spider that gave him superpowers. What other thing would he be but Spider-Man?
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
Was Falcon shot with the super serum in the army so he could become Captain America? No, he wasn't. Instead, he wasn't. He's been an established hero already. Already, everyone knows who the Falcon is. You know who he is already.
Yeah.
You didn't know who the hell Miles was. He was a black kid going around places.
Yeah.
The first time you identify him as anything is you identify him as Spider-Man. Do you not understand? The biggest issue is that you've literally identified this person as one thing, and you're telling that's not enough. You need to now be this. That's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying though, is that at the end of the day, it's not Miles is a black.
You are trying your best to use your comic book logic, and I am not in comic book logic land at all.
No. What I'm saying is that we don't look at Miles as a token black Spider-Man.
Who doesn't? Wait. Who doesn't? Because
I ain't gonna say everybody.
I know a multitude of people that do. I know a lot of people that will tell you in a heartbeat, Miles ain't nothing but a token color swap Spider-Man.
But that's not how we look at it, though.
But you know that's true too. You know it's a multitude of people that see Miles as nothing but that.
But that's not how I look at it.
In the comic books, and here's the difference. In the comic books with Miles, Peter still exists, don't he?
So basically, Peter ended up. Well, let me back it up. Miles went to a different universe to where a Peter Parker did exist. In his universe, his Peter is dead, but he went to the regular Earth 1 or whatever universe, and he stayed there. And he's in the same universe as the Peter Parker that is present day, and so they're literally around at the same time. A multiverse kind of situation, I guess.
So in other words, it's a Spider-Man.
It's two different Spider-Mans. Like it's literally Miles and Peter Parker. It's really weird.
So again, does that sound anything like this situation? Because it don't to me. Not even the slightest bit. But hey, if you want to justify Disney and them race swapping, that's fine. It's okay.
So if at the end of the day, Falcon stays Falcon with a shield,
which I think would be the smartest thing in the world, but hey, who am I to make sense of Disney race baiting you for 3 or 4 episodes? That may be the best answer to the equation.
And just don't pick a Captain America.
Because if Sam steps up there and gives his speech and says, there's no need for Captain America, we as a nation can stand up for it, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say it because if some words I say come out of his mouth, I'm going to be even more upset. But if he gives some type of speech where it's, okay, a Captain America at this moment is not needed. We need to stand as people ourselves and stand up and help each other and do all this. We can be the symbol of Captain America without it being a Captain America. And he still carries the shield. Then what would you do?
So, all right, I'm going to ask one last question. If Bucky ends up becoming Captain America...
Just another white man being Captain America, I could care less.
But you'll be okay with it.
You do know my only issue is that he's a black established superhero, and now magically you need him to be another white person superhero. That is my biggest issue. Again, Isaiah, his point was very valid. And unfortunately for Marvel, because they leaned into it, like, what? As a black man, why? I don't want to be the symbol of hope for you people. No. You've done nothing to give me hope in this country, and yet you want me to be your symbol of it? No. And that's what made that whole thing with Isaiah make so much sense. It was a really good point that they did there. Unfortunately, it backs you into a hell of a stupid corner because you should not have had him say that in the first place. Secondly, now you have brought his race into the forefront. Well, you did that multiple times, from the kid even calling him Black Falcon.
Yeah, they've leaned into that this entire time. They've been leaning into that.
So,
really
hey, would you be okay if people called him Black Captain America?
I would just be fine with being called Captain America, to be honest.
Why not Black Captain America? We had a white one. So, you're Black Captain America. Would you have an issue if they called him Black Captain America?
Wait, why?
I'm
A reason why I wouldn't. How do I put this?
The kid literally told you how people think when he said, "Why not just Falcon?" He said, "Because I'm black." He said, "Yes, that's why you're Black Falcon." And he talking about, "Well, aren't you a black kid?" The kid laughed, but in all honesty, if I saw that kid, I would call him Black Kid. With a little black kid right there. I'm just pointing out, they call him Black Captain America. Oh, it would be the funniest thing in the world to me.
Well, Disney would never do that.
Well, you also thought Disney wouldn't do a lot of things that they've done with this show so far.
Well, no, I told you, I said to you, I was like, by the end of this, Lucas, they're gonna make
no.
red.
Not just him make Captain America. You didn't expect them to go as far as they did with Isaiah.
No,
exactly. So now you don't think someone would call him? You don't think they would bring that little kid back to say, "Hey, that's Black Captain America"?
I don't think.
I'll just wait. Wait for the fuckery to happen, and that little kid show up again, and he calls him Black Captain America.
What I think is going to happen with Isaiah is that when Isaiah's grandson sees Anthony Mackie's version or whatever, if it's Falcons with the shield or if it's him being fully Captain America, that's when Isaiah's grandson is going to become I forget what he becomes.
So he needs to become a symbol of hope for Black people.
I forget what the heck
you just said he needs to become a symbol of hope for Black people.
No, I'm saying that's what's going to happen. I don't. Look.
We're just gonna. Hey, about this? Let's just end this review quickly on Zemo, who, just as pointless as he was in Civil War, turns out to be just as pointless in this show. It's amazing what they've done with this character. They managed to do absolutely nothing in 6 episodes and a movie.
Look, I don't have any problem with,
and I'm not talking about Black Captain America no more. We can talk about Zemo.
It's Patriot. So Zemo said some weird stuff in this episode. Zemo was like, "Yeah, I decided not to kill you, Bucky." I was like, "At what point were you ever going to kill Bucky?" But whatever, okay. And Bucky was like, "Yeah, but I got a gun on you, bro. Like you're done." And then he kind of jokes with him, gets the Dora Milaje to come pick him up, which I knew Bucky was probably gonna end up doing anyway, which kind of basically symbolized Bucky is becoming better. And Zemo had this conversation. Well, yeah, I know you had all the reasons to do this. It kind of just painting Zemo to be like this understanding, well put together character, I guess. What they're doing, what I know for a fact that they're doing is they're setting up the Thunderbolts, which Thunderbolt Ross, who had initially the serum, who distributed out to Bruce Banner, that dome that they kept the original Avengers in, that's where they're sending them to, Rav. And that's where I think that he's going to round up his Thunderbolts in. And I think the girl, she's actually going to probably use U.S. Agent and create her own Dark Avengers. I think this episode to me showed me that they're trying to platform the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers. That's ultimately what it was. They're just showing that Zemo is going to become a part of that group.
So in other words, it was kind of more unnecessary world build. This is why I get, as much as I dislike their movies at times, this is why I can go with DC more. Because, man, I don't have to deal with unnecessary world building into everything. Damn it, could I just get a show? I literally had to deal with WandaVision with world building galore. And now you're trying to make me care even further with this one with world build. No, I don't care. I could care less about Thunderbolts, Dark Event. I don't care about any of them things. Not even in the slightest. All I care about is that you, for 6 episodes and a movie, has made this character to me seem absolutely pointless.
I have no comments, but I stand by that's the only reason why they put him in this show is to set up the Thunderbolts. And I think that this
how many years away is that? How many years?
It's going to be a show.
No. How many years away is it though?
I give it They're gonna probably announce it in 2 years, if not a year.
So is it? So then it's in the middle of Secret War that happens. Because Secret War is in 2 years.
Yeah, I think they are gonna do that. I think that the Secret Wars is gonna be something that they can handle because it's cosmic. Like they don't even have they can still continue to do everything on the base level, on Earth. And Secret Worlds is something that takes place on multidimensional situations.
And where does Miss Marvel and Moon Knight and all these other shows fit into this? You see why I don't care? This is why I don't care. Because in the end, you just sacrifice his character for something in the future, but you literally did the same thing in the movie. Like, nigga, you keep on putting them off. I'm not gonna care what happens to him.
Look,
hey, there you go. Nope, I'm done.
All we're doing
I'm good. I'm good. Shout out to JJ and Green Lantern show and whatever else is happening, because I'm pretty sure you'll give me a definite answer in the conclusion and not world building galore. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. Well, so for me, yes, I enjoyed the episode. There's not a lot that happened, but I think that the conversations were really good. I think that the conversation between Bucky and your boy Sam was really kind of cringe, but it was also very blatant and important at the same time. I guess it was cute seeing them do their little 48 hours buddy cop moment.
Okay, that was the most irritating part of this show.
I was like, I don't know what they're doing.
So who the fuck put in this Lethal Weapon music and montage in the middle of this show? Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, go ahead. The one thing that I was kind of like is, Marvel, why would you have me see the montage of them throwing the shield years ago? Like, we saw that was one of the first trailers showing them throwing the shield, and it was on the 5th episode. And I said to Lucas last week, I was like, Lucas, I feel like they're gonna show me this in the next episode. And sure enough, it was no fake out. It was just them training. And I was just like, bro, y'all could have kept that a secret, bro.
Is Sharon in the Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers?
Agent 13, I don't know what she is. I don't have enough Marvel knowledge for that, to be honest.
Oh, man. Boy. Marvel won't. You know what? On to Loki. Let's go.
Hey, look, at this point, to be quite honest with you, Lucas, I'm actually worried for how you're gonna end up feeling about this show, because I feel like everything that I thought was gonna go down is kind of going down. But yeah, I don't know. Sharon's the one that put in the most work to me. She was laying hands down. I was like, I'd like to see a whole Sharon show.
And yet we still don't know who the power broker is, right? Even though I know who the power broker is from what comic book people tell me.
I'm not gonna go there.
I mean, no, she's literally listed. They say it's a power broker in the comics, and she magically shows up in this episode.
Oh, yeah. I kind of felt that way too, but I don't know. So I still feel like Sharon, just because the George St. Pierre moment, right? She's the one that called him to meet up with Kari, right? Because he was talking to a French dude, and I was like, that's George St. Pierre's character. Why is Sharon? Because she has to know that George St. Pierre's character wants to kill Sam. Why would she have him working with Kari and the group?
Why does he want to kill Sam again?
Remember remember the first episode, whatever the heck happened. I don't even remember how did he get away anyway?
But no. But why does he want to kill Sam? What did Sam do that he wants to kill Sam?
He stopped him and put him in prison. The first episode, right?
So that's the reason to kill him. Okay, all right.
I don't know.
I don't care. Like, the first episode is a blur to me. Pay it no attention now.
I don't know, but I one thing that I feel like the character that they not handled the best is this young lady right here,
the terrorist.
Yes,
V. That's what I'm calling her from now on. V. They didn't handle V properly. Is what you're saying?
I don't.
Yeah. That's who that is. That's V. I know V when I see V.
we're gonna all right. What did you rate this episode? All right, you guys already know my rating. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty dope. I thought it brought up some really interesting questions. I don't agree with some of the answers. I don't know how this is exactly going to end, but it's been an entertaining ride. I do feel like some things Marvel may have set up on themselves, but I can't remember if I gave it an 8.5 or 8.
Oh, that's way high, huh?
8.5 or 9? I don't remember which one I gave
Woo.
it, but what did you rate this episode?
Okay, so again, I have to
Matter of
break
fact,
down my rating.
yeah, go ahead.
Without Bucky's spiel, I gave the episode a 7.5. With Bucky's spiel, I gave it a 6.5. It is that cringeworthy of a line to me that he says there. God, that's such a bad line there. But yeah, somewhere in the middle. So combined into one, 7 out of 10. Still has action in it. I'm not particularly interested at all anymore of anything, but it has action in it. I can watch it.
So
it's not WandaVision.
Oh,
that's
no,
what I am judging this show strictly off of WandaVision. I'm not judging it off of anything else.
Yeah, no, I get it. So, but
if I judge it off of something else, the score would go lower. But I am judging it off of WandaVision.
Yeah, that's a really interesting bar. But are you enjoying the show? I think that's a bigger question to have.
It has nice action moments,
which is what you wanted. Which is what you initially came here for. That was really the only reason why you.
And I said it. I didn't think it would make any sense, and I said it wouldn't be good, but I said it would have action. And boy, did they knock that out the park.
So the fight in the beginning of this episode
is the best part of the episode. The best part of the episode.
So when I don't know why Falcon thought this was a good idea. When Falcon took the shield, he had it on that little rope, and John said, "Nope, you ain't going nowhere."
It's almost like he ain't been around a super soldier for the last 5 to 6 years. He doesn't understand the way their strength levels work. Like
I was legit thinking this is about to be an invincible moment. I was like, he's about to slam Sam down. I was thinking Omni-Man in the back of my head the whole entire time. But yeah, you guys, we're done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our spoiler-filled review. I think we tackled everything. So highlights were definitely Isaiah Bradley's conversations, probably the biggest highlight. The fight sequence in the beginning and this mantle situation. So yeah, y'all let us know what you think in the comment section below. Is he going to become the next Captain America, or is he going to stay the Falcon with the shield? Do you guys actually care? Let us know in the comments. We talk to you guys next week. Peace, everybody.